Have you ever felt that quiet tug inside your soul? That subtle yet profound feeling that something is shifting, that life as you know it is on the brink of transformation. It's not always loud. In fact, it usually begins with a whisper, an unexplainable sense of knowing. You might not recognize it at first, but this is the universe nudging you, pulling you towards something greater. You are about to enter quantum leaping mode. Quantum leaping is not just a concept. It's a state of being, a rapid acceleration of your spiritual evolution, where the boundaries of time, space, and limitation dissolve. It's when your energy aligns so powerfully with your highest potential that reality itself seems to bend in your favor. But before this leap can happen, the signs begin to appear. The question is, will you notice them? Will you trust them? And most importantly, will you embrace the unknown?
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons.
Let's start with the first sign. Your internal compass, your intuition, begins to sharpen. Have you noticed how lately you just know things without knowing how? Perhaps you're walking down the street and you feel an unexplainable pull to turn left instead of right, only to discover something extraordinary waiting for you. Or maybe you've had dreams or flashes of insight that feel more real than reality itself. This is your soul speaking to you, louder than ever before. The noise of the external world starts to fade, and your inner world takes center stage. But here's the catch: will you trust it? Will you act on it, even when it defies logic? You might feel scared. That's normal. Fear always arises when we're standing at the edge of transformation. But fear is not the enemy, it's a signpost. It's the universe saying, you're getting close. And when you feel that fear, I want you to ask yourself a question: what am I truly afraid of losing? Often it's not what you think. It's not the job, the relationship, or the familiar routines. It's the comfort of your old identity. The truth is, before you can quantum leap into a new reality, you must shed the outdated version of yourself. And that process can feel like a death. But remember, every death is also a rebirth. As you begin to recognize this shift within, something remarkable starts to happen in your external world. You begin to notice synchronicities, those strange, meaningful coincidences that seem too perfect to be random. Maybe you keep seeing the same number, like 1111, every time you glance at the clock. Or maybe a book falls off a shelf, and when you open it, the exact words you needed to hear jump off the page. These are not accidents. They are cosmic breadcrumbs guiding you toward your next step. But here's the deeper truth: these synchronicities are not coming from outside of you. They are reflections of your own energy field. They are proof that your thoughts, your emotions, your vibration are aligning with a higher frequency. But synchronicities are only the beginning. As you move deeper into this process, you might notice that your emotions become more intense, more raw. One moment, you feel euphoric, as though you're walking on air. The next, you're plunged into what feels like the depths of despair. This is not a sign that something is going wrong. Quite the opposite. It means that you're clearing out the emotional baggage that has been weighing you down for years, maybe even lifetimes. Think of it as a spiritual detox. You're releasing what no longer serves you to make room for the new. I want you to sit with this for a moment. What emotions are you holding on to that no longer align with the person you're becoming? Is it resentment, fear, shame? These emotions are not bad, they're just energy. and energy needs to move. So when the waves of emotion come, don't resist them. Feel them fully. Cry if you need to. Scream if you need to. But don't hold on. Let them flow through you, like a river washing away the old to reveal the sparkling clarity of your true self. The first stage of quantum leaping is messy. It's chaotic. It's like standing in the middle of a storm, unsure of which way to turn. But here's the secret: the storm is not here to destroy you. It's here to awaken you. The chaos is the signal that your old reality is crumbling and a new one is waiting to be born. The question is, will you trust yourself enough to step into the unknown? As the storm of transformation begins to settle, something extraordinary happens. You start to see the world differently. It's as though a veil has been lifted, and for the first time you realize that life isn't happening to you, it's happening through you. The universe becomes a mirror, reflecting back the energy you carry within. And those synchronicities? They're not just random signs, they're feedback from the cosmos, confirming that you're in alignment with your higher self. But let's go deeper. Have you ever stopped to wonder why certain synchronicities appear at specific moments? Why you might think of an old friend and suddenly they call you out of the blue? Or why, just when you're feeling stuck, an opportunity seems to arrive as if by magic? These moments aren't coincidences. They're the result of your vibration shifting. You see, your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs emit a frequency of vibration that interacts with the quantum field of infinite possibilities. When your vibration rises, the universe rearranges itself to match the energy you're putting out. So here's the big question: what vibration are you broadcasting right now? If you're holding onto self-doubt, fear, or a sense of lack, the universe will reflect that back to you through experiences and relationships that mirror those energies. But if you begin to cultivate feelings of gratitude, love, and trust even before the external evidence shows up, you'll start to attract opportunities, people, and synchronicities that resonate with that higher frequency. It's not magic, it's quantum physics. This is where quantum leaping begins to take shape. You're no longer playing by the old rules of reality, where things happen linearly, step by step. Instead, you're tapping into the realm of infinite potential, where shifts can happen instantaneously. But here's the key: to leap into a new reality, you must embody that reality before it shows up. You must act, think, and feel as though your dream life is already here. The universe doesn't respond to what you want, it responds to who you are being. Let me ask you something: who would you be if you already had everything you've ever desired? How would you carry yourself? How would you feel when you woke up in the morning? What decisions would you make? And what fears would you leave behind? The moment you begin to embody that version of yourself, you create a vibrational match with the reality you're calling in. And that's when the leap happens. But there's a paradox here that we must address. While you're aligning with your desires, you'll also be called to surrender. Yes, surrender. Because no matter how much you visualize or affirm, the universe has its own divine timing. Sometimes the things you're manifesting don't show up right away, not because you're doing something wrong, but because you're being prepared. There are lessons to learn, wounds to heal, and old patterns to release before you can fully step into your new reality. This is where trust comes in. Can you hold the vibration of your dreams even when the evidence hasn't yet appeared? Can you trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor even when the path feels unclear? And let's not forget the role of action. Quantum leaping isn't about sitting on the couch and waiting for miracles to happen. It's about taking inspired action, those intuitive nudges that guide you toward your next step. Maybe it's reaching out to a mentor, saying yes to an unexpected opportunity, or even letting go of something that no longer serves you. These actions might not always make sense to your logical mind, but they're aligned with the energy of your higher self. And when you act on them, you send a powerful signal to the universe that you're ready for the leap. Now, let's talk about the shifts in your relationships. As your vibration rises, you'll notice that some relationships begin to change or even fall away. This can be one of the most challenging aspects of quantum leaping. People who once felt like kindred spirits might now feel out of sync with your energy. Conversations that used to excite you might feel draining. It's not that these people are bad or wrong. It's simply that your vibration is no longer aligned. And as painful as it may be, letting go of these connections creates space for new, more aligned relationships to enter your life. But here's the part that most people miss: the relationships that shift aren't just external. They're internal too. The way you relate to yourself changes. You begin to notice the limiting beliefs that have kept you small, the inner critic that tells you you're not good enough, the fear that whispers, "What if I fail?" And as you become aware of these patterns, you're given a choice. Will you continue to let them define you, or will you choose a new story? This is where the real work of quantum leaping happens, not in the external world, but within. Every time you choose to release an old belief, every time you forgive yourself or someone else, every time you act in alignment with your highest self, you're collapsing old timelines and opening the door to a new reality. And as you do this inner work, the outer world begins to shift in ways that feel almost miraculous. But let me ask you something deeply personal. What story about yourself are you ready to let go of? Maybe it's the story that you're not smart enough, not talented enough, not worthy enough. Or maybe it's the story that life is a struggle, that good things only happen to other people. Whatever it is, I want you to know this: that story is not who you are. It's just a program, a pattern that you've carried for too long. And the moment you decide to release it, you free yourself to step into a new reality. As we move deeper into this process, you'll notice that your priorities begin to change. The things that used to matter, status, possessions, external validation, start to feel hollow. Instead, you're drawn toward experiences that nourish your soul, relationships that uplift you, and work that feels like a true expression of your purpose. This is not a coincidence. It's a sign that you're aligning with your authentic self. And here's the most beautiful part: as you align with your purpose, you become a magnet for abundance. Opportunities, resources, and connections start to flow into your life with ease. It's as though the universe is saying, finally, you're ready. But this abundance isn't just for you. It's meant to be shared. Because when you step into your purpose, you're not just transforming your own life, you're contributing to the collective awakening. Your light becomes a beacon for others, showing them what's possible. So here's the deeper question: what gift do you have to offer the world? It doesn't have to be grand or flashy. It could be your kindness, your creativity, your ability to listen deeply. Whatever it is, know that it's enough. And as you share your gift, you'll find that the universe supports you in ways you never imagined. Now we arrive at the pivotal moment. Everything we've explored so far, the heightened intuition, the synchronicities, the emotional intensity, the shifts in relationships, the shedding of old beliefs, has been preparing you for this. You're standing at the edge of the quantum leap, and the question is no longer, Is this possible? The question is, am I willing to let go of everything I thought I knew to step into the unknown? This is where trust and surrender become your greatest allies. And yet, they are also the most difficult qualities to embody because surrender requires you to release control. It asks you to stop gripping so tightly to your plans, your expectations, and your timelines. It invites you to step into a state of flow, where you allow life to unfold as it's meant to, not as your mind thinks it should. And trust. Trust requires you to believe in something you can't yet see, to know that even when things feel chaotic or uncertain, the universe is always working in your favor. But let's be real, surrender and trust don't come naturally to most of us. We've been conditioned to believe that control equals safety, that if we just plan enough, work hard enough, or push through enough resistance, we can force life to bend to our will. And while there's a place for effort and discipline, the quantum leap isn't something you can force. It's something you allow. It's a state of deep alignment where your actions flow effortlessly from your intuition, and the results seem almost magical. So let me ask you, where in your life are you still trying to force outcomes? Maybe it's in your career, where you're clinging to a job or a path that no longer resonates. Maybe it's in a relationship where you're trying to make someone fit into a role they were never meant to play. Or maybe it's within yourself, where you're holding on to an outdated vision of who you're supposed to be, even though your soul is calling you to expand. Whatever it is, I invite you to consider this: what if letting go is the very thing that will propel you forward? Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means releasing your attachment to how things should be so that you can open yourself to how they're meant to be. It's about trusting that the universe has a plan for you that's far greater than anything your mind could conceive. And here's the paradox: the moment you let go, the moment you stop resisting and start flowing, life begins to align in miraculous ways. But how do you surrender without falling into apathy? How do you trust without losing your sense of agency? The answer lies in inspired action. Surrender doesn't mean sitting back and doing nothing. It means taking steps that feel aligned with your highest self while releasing the need to control the outcome. It's about showing up fully, giving your best, and then allowing the results to unfold as they will. It's a dance between effort and ease, intention and detachment. Let's take this deeper. Imagine for a moment that you've already made the leap. Picture yourself in the reality you've been dreaming of. Feel it. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Who are you in that reality? Now, here's the most important question: what's stopping you from being that person right now? The truth is, the only thing standing between you and your ideal reality is the belief that you're not ready, not worthy, or not capable. But here's the secret: you are already that person. The leap isn't about becoming someone new, it's about remembering who you've always been. And as you embody this truth, you'll notice that your external reality begins to shift. Doors that were once closed will open. Opportunities that seemed impossible will present themselves. People who resonate with your higher vibration will be drawn into your life. This is the power of quantum leaping, not because you're manipulating reality, but because you're aligning so deeply with your true self that reality has no choice but to mirror your transformation. But let me warn you, this process isn't always comfortable. When you step into a higher vibration, anything that isn't aligned with that vibration will begin to fall away. This might mean letting go of relationships, habits, or even parts of your identity that no longer serve you. It can feel like losing pieces of yourself. But the truth is, You're not losing anything. You're simply shedding what was never truly you. And in the space that remains, your authentic self can rise. This brings us to the final and perhaps most profound question. Are you willing to let go of who you think you are to become who you're meant to be? This is the essence of the quantum leap. It's not about adding more to your life, it's about stripping away everything that isn't aligned with your soul. It's about stepping into the unknown with unwavering faith, knowing that the universe will catch you not because it's outside of you, but because it's a reflection of you. Now let's talk about the practical side of this process. How do you prepare yourself for the leap? One of the most powerful tools is meditation. Not the kind of meditation where you're trying to quiet your mind or achieve a specific state, but the kind where you simply sit with yourself, fully present, and allow whatever arises to be. This kind of meditation helps you connect with your inner truth and clear the static of fear and doubt. It creates a space where you can hear the whispers of your intuition and align with your higher self. Journaling is another invaluable practice. Write down your desires, your fears, your dreams. Get clear on what you're calling in and what you're releasing. But don't just stop there. Write as though your dreams have already come true. Describe your ideal reality in vivid detail, as if you're living it right now. This isn't just an exercise in imagination, it's a way of anchoring your vibration to the frequency of your desired reality. And finally, surround yourself with people and environments that support your growth. As you raise your vibration, you'll find that you're drawn to different kinds of conversations, activities, and communities. Seek out those who inspire you, who challenge you to expand, and who celebrate your wins without resentment. And don't be afraid to spend time alone. Solitude can be a powerful catalyst for transformation, giving you the clarity and space to integrate the shifts you're experiencing. As we wrap up this journey, I want to leave you with one final thought. The quantum leap is not a destination. It's not a prize to be won or a goal to be achieved. It's a way of being. It's a state of flow, trust, and alignment that allows you to navigate life with grace, no matter what challenges arise. And the beauty of it is this: the leap never ends. As you step into one new reality, another will call you forward. There is always more to discover, more to create, and more to become. So as you stand on the edge of your own leap, I invite you to take a deep breath. Feel the ground beneath your feet, the rhythm of your heartbeat, the infinite potential that surrounds you. And when you're ready, take the step. Trust that the universe is already celebrating your courage, cheering you on as you leap into the unknown. Because the truth is, the moment you decide to leap, you've already arrived. And now I'll ask you one last question. What's the first step you're going to take today to align with your highest self? The leap begins now.